and goal from the 1. Touchdown.
Well, hello. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to check out this video. And welcome to the Gridiron. Before we get started, I just want to say thank you so much to everyone out there who's watching my videos. Thank you. If you can maybe give this video a thumbs up or possibly leave a comment below or maybe even share this video, it would mean so much to me. But anyway, just thank you so much for just taking time out of your day to check out this video. Thank you. Well, the New York Giants and their tackle situation. Not one, 2 thumbs up. I mean, I don't want to be jinxing anything or nothing, but I mean, other than really, some horrible setback, meaning like maybe injuries or something like that. I mean, the New York Giants should be set at tackle for quite some time. Is their depth set? Nah, that's never gonna be. I don't know if that's ever gonna be set. But they got some depth there. But I mean, hopefully we won't be really needing them too much. Hopefully Andrew Thomas, can get his ankle and feet problem situated. I mean, because there's nothing. I mean, there's a few things that could really crush a tackle. I mean, if every play, especially when it's passing league, you're dropping back, and then you got somebody trying to bull rush you or get around the edge or something like that. You need your feet, you need your ankles, you need your knees. I mean, I understand your back. If your back, I mean, I get that and all, but I mean, your feet and your ankles are huge. I mean, guys trying to bull rush you or something like that, and you're trying to plant, and you got pain in your ankles and your feet. I mean, that's going to do nothing but hurt you. So hopefully, the surgeries that he had, I think, to clear out any problems that he had, hopefully, it's not a recurring theme, because he had, problems his rookie season, and he had a little bit of problems last year too, with the ankles and the feet, so, or at least a foot, So hopefully it's not a recurring thing. But I mean, as you see here, I mean, the Giants are, pretty doggone good situation at their tackle. I mean, when you're trying to rebuild, which the Giants, let's, try rebuild and compete, as Shane says. Okay, obviously they're out there trying to compete. They'll win some games. I mean, are they going to be 500? Who knows? But they'll win some games. Hopefully they'll win, honestly, more than 4 games from last year. But they're rebuilding. But I mean, one of the things to rebuild. Okay, obviously you need a quarterback. Still not sure about Daniel Jones, right? But, it helps to have a good edge rusher, but, have a tackle. Now, the way things, if you go back 10, 15, 20 years, whatever it was, there was the left tackle. If you got a left tackle, that's your buildable. I mean, now it's the left, right. I mean, because, they take their best pass rusher, and who knows where, you don't know where anybody's coming from. You don't know who's coming, who's going. It's not like 1960. Where they line up 4 guys and the 4 guys there. Those are the 4 guys rushing. They got 3 linebackers. Those guys are dropping in coverage. The other 4, I mean, you have no idea nowadays who's coming and who's going. And especially, I mean, it doesn't matter if the right tackle or left tackle. They're both important. So, I mean, if you're trying to rebuild, I mean, it's just the way it fell into place for the Giants, right? You got Andrew Thomas and you got Evan Neal. I mean, you got 2 cornerstone pieces to build the franchise around. All right, so let's see. The New York Giants and their tackle situation. Oh, we're looking good here. All right, so we've got Andrew Thomas here, right? And, of course, we've got Evan Neal. Now, with Matt Paye, I mean, once again, he was drafted by Gettleman, Judge. So, you don't know if his time is, going to be gone soon with the Giants. I mean, this is last season, right? 2021, right? Matt Paye. I mean, it didn't grade out too bad. 63 overall. I mean, there's some nice games. I mean, you look, it was run blocking, 84.2 against Philadelphia. He only had 11 snaps. His pass blocking, 9.8. I mean, I mean, some of the games he got in there a lot. He didn't play every game. And you see a few games, 5 snaps, 9 snaps, 11 snaps. He didn't get in there much at all. 19 against Denver. He also got realizes, Nate Solder in there, that Rob Sale didn't want to even put him in. So he just didn't, maybe he said also didn't see the fire in him at all. So, I mean, you don't know. I mean, I said, especially if he's not drafted by the GM, you don't know if his time is going bye-bye. So you have to wait and see. As I said, the depth on the Giants is going to be a revolving door. It's never going to be, obviously solved. You're never going to have the same guys, so it's always going to be evolving, right? So Matt Parrott, this is his 3rd season. We got him under contract for 1 more year. We'll have to wait and see, But, I mean, it would be great if he, if he turns out, gets a little bit better. Be nice to have him as a depth piece. But we'll just have to wait and see. Where we at here? Okay, then we got Devery Hamilton. Okay. Now, he got drafted last year by the Raiders, didn't play, right? So he played in college. Okay. First 3 years he was, I guess you can't see him because I'm here, but it says Stanford. Then 2020 he played at Duke. Now Duke he graded out as 73.4 his last season, in college. Pass blocking 62.3. He was a 77, but he's 6'9", tall dude, 310 pounds. But last year was with the Las Vegas Raiders. He wasn't drafted, right? In the draft, all right. They got him as an undrafted free agent, but he didn't play any snaps last year in the NFL. So nothing to show you there. So we go NFL, right? 2021, right? Nothing. So I mean, if he was that good, he'd have some numbers here. So, all right, that ought to tell you. All right, we got Roy Emba Etika. He's the guy that we found from Africa. OCU Manure has camps over there, and they found him. He's 6'9" as well. He's a huge guy, but he's very good athletic wise. They're trying him out at tackle, but he's a work in progress. I would not imagine you'd possibly see anything of him this year. I'd highly doubt it. If you did, if he came from over in Africa where he never really played football at all, comes over here, spends 6-7 months here in training, practice squad, and all that, and he suits up for the team, you might have a pretty special athlete right there. But I probably would not, even if he ever makes the team, I wouldn't think anything's going to happen this year. If anything, maybe give him maybe next year. I'm pulling for him. That'd be a fantastic story. Apparently he's a phenomenal athlete. That's what OCU Manure says. He's a phenomenal athlete. Let's see if that can translate it. It's because you're a phenomenal athlete doesn't mean you can play in the NFL. So let's say, get my fingers crossed for him. All right. Of course, then we got right time. We got Evan Neal. Got behind him is Matt Gano or Gano. I'm not sure if it's Gano or Gano, but this was last year, NFL, 2021. All right, he only has 2 seasons where he has grades. Let's see here. Where we got 2021. I think 2020. Okay, 2020 with Atlanta. He played a decent amount. He got the 336 snaps. Okay. Rated out of 54.9. Nothing super duper. His pass blocking grade. He had some clunkers here. 18.3, 23.4, 29.2, and 19.6. Not very good. Okay. So then you look at, let's see here. 2021, nothing. 2020, let's see, was it 2019 or 2019? Okay, 2019. Right, he had 40 snaps. Okay, played 2 games. Once he his pass block grade, a .6. I didn't know that was possible. A .6. Okay. Yeah, so that should tell you something. Okay. Once again, if he was that good, there'd be a lot more numbers here, and you wouldn't be seeing a .6. That's something I would get. Okay, I would get a 0, right? But a .6. Somebody's paying you about $1 million a year or so, and you get a .6. That's extremely horrible. All right. So once again, with him, don't expect too much. Will he be here this year and gone next? Yeah, quite possibly. Will Devery Hamilton be here this year and gone next? Yeah, quite possibly. All right. Then we got Corey Cunningham. I mean, you got a little promise here. I mean, if we keep him around, nothing super spectacular. All right. I mean, he's kind of like the same thing here. He played last year. All right, let's see. This is 2021, right? Yeah, okay. Season 2021 up here, NFL. All right, let's see here. He got against Washington. He didn't play too good, but had a couple decent games. I mean, as depth. I mean, this pass blocking grade here against L.A. All right, that's against the Rams. That's not real. That's not what we're looking for there, right? A 0.0. Yeah. But he had 61 or 60. I mean, he didn't get a lot of grades. I mean, but here, 67 against the Eagles. He was in there for 67 snaps, graded at a 62.2, 63.6 pass block grade, 56.8. I mean, it's just depth. Okay, he played. He's got 4 seasons. Right. I mean, 47.2 in 2020, 21.7 pass blocking grade. It's not really, that's, what I mean? So we'll have to wait and see. I mean, that's it. I mean, same thing with Corey Cunningham. He wasn't brought in by Shane or Dable. Might he be here this year and gone next? Oh, yeah, quite possibly. I said that's just going to be a revolving door. All right. But then, we got the 2 cornerstones here, right? We got Mr. Neal, all right, drafted number 7, obviously, this past, I mean, this is last season. Yeah, I mean, he played what? Yeah, he played for Alabama. He played about usually 900 games a season because they go to the playoffs, and there's like what we've got 38 playoff games nowadays. I mean, so and of course they always make the championship game. But I mean, 85.8, 83.6 pass blocking grade, 80.4 run blocking grade. And the thing is that he goes up against good competition. Georgia, they were pretty good. Georgia, they were pretty good. Cincinnati, they only lost 1 game. The one game they lost was to Alabama, right? LSU, Tennessee, Texas A&M, Ole Miss, Florida, Miami, Florida. So you're going up against some good quality competition here, okay? But what I like here too, all right, is that his second season, he graded out at 83.7, 86.4 run block, 73. So he got better, right? He got a little bit better, right? So, yeah, I mean, just overall solid, right? 83.7, 73.1, 86.4, just absolutely good, solid. Then of course, you got Andrew Thomas, right? Now, his first season, he graded out a 62.4, right? Obviously not very good. I mean, he had some struggles. There's no doubt about that, but he was also injured. Of course, nobody seems to be bringing that up, I mean, if you got problems with your ankles and your feet, okay, and you're a tackle, you got some problems, okay? So that might quite be why he had some struggles here, okay? But overall, 62.4, but he certainly got better, as time went on. He had a clunker here against the Cardinals. I think the whole team had a clunker against the Cardinals that year. But, 62.4 run block, 54.7 pass block. He gave up 10 sacks, okay? But he went from 10 sacks his rookie season, okay, to I believe it was 2 last year, right? Yeah, 2 sacks last year. But he went, but he went from a 62.4 the following season. Now he's a 78.9. His run block at 62.4 up to a 68. but his pass block, 54.7 to an 82.1. Okay, that's really, really good. Okay, 2 sacks. He gave up 18 altogether. All right, 13 hurries, 3 hits, 2 sacks. Right, and what do we got? Pass block, 517. Gave up 2 sacks. 5. So basically, what was that? Basically like one every 259 pass attempts, he gives up a sack. That's your man right there. As I said, hopefully the the surgery he had, I think it was like to clear some stuff out of his ankle or something. But I mean, hopefully his foot and ankle problems hopefully start going away. Hopefully it's not a recurring thing every year. But, I mean, you can see what a big jump he took from his first year to his second year. Now, I kind of thought, I was like, man, there's like no way, did the Giants ever have, Andrew Thomas is pick number 4, Evan Neal was pick number 7. Did we ever wind up taking tackles that early in the draft? And the answer is yes, we did. There was another guy we took early in the draft we at pick number 4. We never took a tackle before pick number 4, but we did take tackles before our number 4. Our second overall pick, our second first round overall in 1937, we wound up taking was pick number 4. But our first ever pick, 1936, boom, there he is, Art Lewis. Now, this is not what he looked like in 1936. He's a coach here. But he was our first overall ever pick. 1936 draft, first round, pick number 9. All right. He played 1 season with the Giants. Right? So we took 8 guys in the top 10 as far as tackles in the draft. Okay, so he's the first, as our first ever selection. 1936, took him at number 9. All right. Now, he played 1 season with the Giants, took off the next season to coach a college, came back, played 2 more seasons with the Cleveland Rams. Midway through the 38th season, I think he became their full head time coach. And I think he became the youngest head coach in NFL history at age 27. But he was only there for 38 and 39, and then that was it. Okay, but he is our first ever draft pick. All right. Now we got him, and at 1937, the next draft, we took a tackle in the first round. We took Ed Whitseth, if I could show him here to you. Ed Whitseth right here. 1937, first pick, first round, pick number 4. So Ed Whitseth, okay, and Andrew Thomas are the lowest tackles position, in the draft order the Giants have ever taken. We've taken 2 guys in number 4. All right. Ed Whitseth was only played from 1937 to 1940, so he only played a grand total of 44 games. Not a phenomenal pick, okay, but our first 2 drafts, 1936, 1937, we took tackles in the top 10. Right? In the first round, took tackles. Both of them happened to wind up being in the top 10. Right. So then after this, we took from 1938 to 2022. We've taken 6 tackles in the top 10 of the NFL draft. The next one we took was in 1946. George Conner, he was a Hall of Famer, but he never played for the Giants. 1946, here we go. First round, pick number 5. All right. Giants drafted him, and he didn't want to go to New York. He wanted to be, his father was sick. So he wanted to go to be by his sick father. So he lived out, I was in Indiana. I think it was somewhere out there. So he went to Notre Dame, my school, my favorite college or university. So he went there for 2 years. He came out. I'm not sure how it works. The Giants drafted him. He goes to college, and then he comes out, and then he plays for the Bears. So he played for the Bears, okay, till 1955. I think it was from 48 to 55. Played in 91 games. He was a tackle. He was a Hall of Famer. But unfortunately for the Giants, he never
He never played for the Giants. But the Giants did draft him. He was a tackle, pick number 5, okay? So then we took 5 other tackles in the top 10, right? But the next one I want to show is 1953, Roosevelt Brown, the greatest tackle the Giants have ever had. 27th round, pick number 322, Hall of Famer, right? We got 1953. All the way down, 27th round, Roosevelt Brown, pick number 322, Hall of Famer, class of 1965. He played in 1965, from 1953 to 65. Okay? Played in 162 games. Best tackle the Giants have ever had in the 27th round. Phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. Built like a Greek god. All right. The next guy that the Giants took in the first round, okay, as a tackle in the top 10, okay, was Francis Paye, 1966. They took him at number 10. But just goes to show you how crappy the Giants' picks were back then. He only played 2 seasons for the Giants. Francis Paye, 1966, pick number 10. He only played 2 seasons for the Giants. Then he played for the Packers. Then he played his last 2 seasons. He played the 1974. His last 2 seasons, 73 and 74, with the Chiefs. But the Giants drafted him number 10 overall. He's a tackle, number 10 overall from Missouri. He played 2 seasons for the Giants. Just goes to show you how unbelievably horrible their drafting was back then. Or they draft and they just couldn't keep guys. The next guy that they took in the top 10 as a tackle in the top 10 was 1978 Gordon King, who had a nice lengthy career, but was not a worthy. He took him number 10, I believe it was. Oh, that's 1977, 1978. There we go. Gordon King took him number 10 overall, tackle. Okay, from Stanford. He was a big guy. At the time, he was 6'6". But if you'll notice here, I mean, they drafted him number 10 overall. Look, if you'll see, 1978. If you're a tackle, right? The first 2 seasons, right? Games started. If you start 3 games in your first 2 seasons, guess what? That's not a very good pick. You take him in the first round, number 10 overall. I mean, he had somewhat of a lengthy career. He played till 87, right? But I mean, you see, he started, he played 9 years. He started in 60 games. I mean, you take him number 10 overall. Not a very good pick by the Giants. Not a very good pick at all. Then the next guy they took, all right, so then we got to go from 78 all the way, obviously, to 2015 when we took our buddy, Mr. Eric Flowers, okay, number 9 overall, 2015 tackle, right? And we know, I mean, I think it seems like he's maybe better suited as a guard, okay? But, I mean, if you look, I mean, the Giants have never had, they drafted tackles back-to-back years, okay, in the top 10, but they never played together, okay? Art Lewis played 1 season for the Giants, and then the following season in 1937 when they drafted Ed Whitseth, pick number 4 overall as a tackle in the 1937 draft. Art Lewis was no longer on the Giants. So the Giants have never, ever had 2 top, you can even say top 7 picks, all right, in the draft, all right? 2022, Evan Neal. I got offensive lineman. I'm saying there, tackle, okay? Then you got the 2020, right? Andrew Thomas, pick number 4, tackle, okay? The Giants have never, ever had 2 top 10 or 2 top 7 tackles that they've drafted been on the roster at the same time, like they do with Andrew Thomas and Evan Neal. And just, as I said, barring some huge, horrible injury situation or something like that, the New York Giants with their tackle situation should be good to go for many years to come.
So as you can see, I mean, between Andrew Thomas and Evan Neal, I mean, the Giants' tackle situation has never been better. I mean, they're not the only tackles you saw the Giants have taken in the top 10 in the NFL draft. Okay, they've had taken other tackles in the top 10. All right. But, I mean, as far as having 2 top 10 tackles that the Giants drafted, having them on the roster at the same time, that's never happened before. Now, as far as, building for the future. Okay, you know the depth that we have: Hamilton, Gano, we got Douglas, Parrott. I mean, those guys we're going to have here for years to come. Probably not. It's probably going to be, you know, Imba Etika. He's a work in progress. You know, hopefully, you know, if we can, you know, get him to start teaching him, you know, and he can hopefully starts working his way up. Maybe he can become a part of the team and maybe be some depth, you know. But I mean, as far as the other depth, the other guys, it's going to be kind of like a revolving door. But if you're just looking, you know, pretty much right now and toward the future, okay, the Giants at their tackle position are, you know, I'm not going to say second to none, but they're in some pretty good shape. You know, the biggest thing is that, you know, you can have all the people, you know, in the world, all the best players, you know. Do we have the quarterback? We're going to find out this season. If we don't, you know, we still got a little bit of work left to do because you have to get the quarterback. But as far as tackles, all right, the New York Football Giants are good to go, hopefully, for years to come. Well, as always, guys, thank you so much for taking time out of your day to check out this video. You guys stay safe out there and go Giants.